This is boring. Teach me a spell that can destroy everything in my path, Rowan yelled, his eyes lighting up with excitement at the thought of destruction. CJ couldn't help but roll his eyes as he walked up to the training practice. Rowan's enthusiasm for destruction was palpable, and it made CJ nervous. Rowan was a fire mage who was still learning how to control his powers, and he had a tendency to be reckless with his magic. CJ had never really liked Rowan. He was a 17-year-old mage with burning red hair and clothes that had small embers burning off of him. Rowan had a habit of bullying CJ and the other students in the area, which made CJ even more uneasy around him. Seraphina sighed and shook her head at Rowan's request. You have no need to learn such magic, Rowan. Your fire is already difficult as it is for you to tame. But I want to be powerful, Rowan pouted. Power isn't just about destruction, Rowan, Seraphina explained patiently. It's about using your magic for good and protecting those who can't protect themselves. CJ couldn't help but nod in agreement. As magical protectors themselves, they knew how important it was to use their powers responsibly and for the greater good. But Rowan was still young and had a lot to learn. Seraphina turned to CJ and smiled. What brings you here, CJ? I was just passing through and thought I'd come say hi, CJ replied with a grin, and maybe get some training for myself. Seraphina chuckled softly. Always eager to learn, I see. I wish I could teach you now, Rowan, but I'm afraid I have to leave soon. I have some important matters to attend to. CJ nodded, feeling grateful for the opportunity to learn from Seraphina. Despite being kicked out of her sanctuary, she was still one of the most skilled magical practitioners he had ever met, and he knew that there was still so much he had to learn from her. As Seraphina heads off, Rowan walks over to CJ, sneering mockingly. Back again, Elfie? Let's see how much stronger you've gotten playing in the forest. CJ glares at Rowan and walks away without responding. Rowan, displeased with the lack of reaction, grows even more frustrated and throws a fireball at CJ. However, the fireball burns out mid-flight, leaving Rowan even more furious. Suddenly, flames burst out of his body, and he began to burn uncontrollably. The flames only burn his clothes, not his body, as he screams, "Why does everyone want to suppress my powers?" CJ watches as Rowan's flames slowly extinguish, leaving him panting and his clothes charred. He couldn't help but feel frustrated with Rowan's lack of control over his powers. CJ believed that magic should be used responsibly and with caution, and Rowan's reckless behavior only reinforced this belief. As he walked away, CJ couldn't help but wonder how Rowan would ever be able to control his powers if he continued down this path. As night began to fall, Dexter, who was underground beneath his home, was sitting at his desk surrounded by stacks of books and papers. He had spent the entire day studying and taking notes, trying to understand the mysteries of magic. Despite his exhaustion, he was determined to continue his research, knowing that it was the key to unlocking his full potential as a mage. Next to him on the desk, a small wooden fox sat, one of many animal carvings he had made throughout the day. Dexter found that carving helped him relax and clear his mind, allowing him to focus on his studies with renewed vigor. Frustrated with a long night of studying, Dexter rubbed his tired eyes and let out a deep sigh. It was then that he noticed a small white spotted cat walking into his hidden room. As he watched, the cat suddenly transformed into Annabelle. "No matter how much you study, you're not going to find what you're looking for, Dexter," Annabelle said, her voice gentle and soothing. Dexter rubbed his tired eyes and ran his fingers through his long, thin, graying hair. "What are your thoughts on the children?" he asked, looking at Annabelle. Annabelle, who had transformed from the spotted white cat, responded, "Maria is definitely a special one. The flame in her is strong and she seems to know how to handle her power well." Dexter nodded. Then, appearing from the shadows, Seraphina spoke up. "My guides have told me that he was spending the day with your son Eric, but he shows no magic potential and shows no interest in it." She paused, studying Dexter's face before continuing. "However, there is something unique about him. A certain aura that I cannot explain, almost as if he has some hidden power that has yet to be unlocked. My question to you ladies is, will they be great assets to us, or should we extract their blue flame?" Dexter asked with concern. The room grew silent as everyone considered the weight of the decision to extract someone's blue flame. Annabelle spoke first. "I believe that with proper guidance, they could be great assets. Maria has shown potential, and the boy may surprise us." Seraphina disagreed. "I see them becoming a problem for us. Please, let her speak." Dexter interrupted as Annabelle tried to interject. With the boy, I can see him becoming a powerful mage and a good friend to Eric. However, I do foresee a potential battle between the two, and the girl may try to stop our plans, Serafina explained. Annabelle, with Serafina being able to foresee the future, what are your thoughts on the children now? Dexter asked with a hint of urgency in his voice. Annabelle took a deep breath before answering, her eyes scanning the room as she gathered her thoughts. I see great potential in my new student, Maria. She has already displayed remarkable control over her powers, and I believe with proper guidance, she could become a valuable asset to our cause. Annabelle responded, her voice firm with conviction. Dexter nodded in agreement before turning his attention to Serafina. And what of your prophecy, Serafina? Will the children prove to be a threat to us? Serafina hesitated before responding. My visions are not always clear, but I do sense a potential conflict between the two children. However, it is unclear if this conflict will aid or hinder our cause. Very well, Dexter said with a solemn nod. We will give the children a chance to prove themselves, but if they pose a threat, we will not hesitate to extract their powers, just like we've done to the others. A mysterious blue glow slowly begins to emanate from the two white pebbles, delicately framed on the wall. The glow grows stronger with each passing moment, casting a bright blue light throughout the room. The light seems to flicker and dance like flames, as if it were alive and reacting to Dexter's words. The room is filled with an eerie yet enchanting atmosphere as the three continue their conversation. Our heroes are faced with new challenges and dangers, and the once seemingly safe Blue Haven is now in question. As the story approaches its climax, the stakes are higher than ever before, and the tension continues to build. What fate awaits our beloved characters? Will they emerge victorious, or will the dangers lurking in the shadows consume them? The answers to these questions lie ahead, so stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion in the next chapter.